Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Ask Coach Marie. I'm Marie O'Neill, founder of Padma Life Coaching, and your host on this series. This is the place where you ask a question and I give my unique opinion as a life renewal coach, astrologer, and past life regression facilitator. Please know that I'm not a therapist and I will never tell you what you must do. Each week on Fridays, a new video is released with me answering 2 questions from the viewers. In addition to those questions, I talk about various other life renewal topics. Let's go ahead and get started with the questions for this week. Our first question this week comes from Maria in Austin, Texas. Maria writes, Coach Marie, my house feels chaotic and cluttered, and it's stressing me out daily. Every time I try to declutter, I get overwhelmed within minutes and just give up. Where should I even begin to tackle this mountain? Thank you for asking that question, Maria. That's a very good question. When we are working with one particular section, or say we're working with a group of papers that we are going to declutter or clear out or go through, sometimes we dig in and we find out, oh my goodness, I need to do XYZ before I can finish this task. I need to do something else before I can finish this task. That's okay. What you want to do, though, is stay with the task. If there's something else you need to do before you do that task, then you go and do it and you come back to the task and you keep going. You stick with whatever you are working on until it is complete, even if you have to go away and do something else to help you complete the decluttering in a particular area. I give an example of paperwork, but it could be that, say you decide you have a lot of clothes on a chair or in a room. Well, you choose to start working on one section of the room and you sort the clothes. You find out, are these clothes I'm going to keep? What needs to be washed? What needs to be hung up? And you just do that. And there is a possibility that when you start that task, you go to the closet and you find out that the closet is full. So there's something you need to do. You need to clear out the closet before you can hang up the new clothes. This is what I'm talking about. So your mind is always on whatever task it is you're working on. If it's the clothes on the chair, that is what you're working on. You might have to stop and go do something else, say clean or go through the clothes in the closet and organize that. That's fine. Don't start working on the closet and see a bunch of boxes and say, oh my goodness, I need to go take that here or to the storage unit or somewhere else. Don't do that. Just sit it in the room, sit it on the floor, sit it wherever you need to sit it and finish cleaning out the closet and put the clothes that you're going to hang up from the chair in the closet. So the point is you want to stick with initial task that you're working on until it's complete. And then you go back to the room you're working in and look at the next task. It's always a good idea, as I said, to start with a small task and then move into something bigger. If you're going to say start with a room, I actually prefer starting in the back of the house, whichever room is furthest from the front door, so to speak. And the reason I say that is because the living room is a public room. And you definitely want to make sure that that's put together. But if you start there, you may not get to the back of the house until maybe a year later. And that's not good. So I like to start, if you're going to do this, my recommendation is to start at the back of the house, but just pick one task. Maybe you're in your kitchen and you're going to start in the kitchen. Maybe you've got things on your countertops. Maybe you need to clean out the cupboards first. We'll start there. Just keep going. and break it down into small tasks. That's really what I'm saying here. Break each task down into smaller tasks that you can do. Set a timer. If you only have 30 minutes a day to work on this project, then set a 30-minute timer consistently every day. And you'll find that over time, you actually will see progress. It may take you longer to see that progress because you're only working 30 hours a day and you're still moving forward. You're not standing still. When we're cleaning out a house with clutter, that also cleans out the mind, because how we keep our house is a direct reflection of what's going on in the mind. But that's a subject for another video. I hope that answers your question. Thank you for asking it. All right, the topic today is creating order in chaos. Now, all of us go through chaos from time to time, whether it's at work, whether it's at home, whether it's with family, whether it's in our mind, we all go through chaos. How do you manage that? How do you deal with that? Well, first of all, you have to have a good, strong foundation of something that you are standing on. And typically, or in my view, it needs to be your belief system. And I'm not saying that you need to be religious or anything like that, but it needs to be your belief system. What is your core belief system? What do you believe in? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in something bigger than you? Do you have a belief that everything always works out no matter what? Whatever your foundation is, that is what you have to stand on. Typically, the only thing you can do when you're in chaos is stay in the present moment so that you know what to do every step of the way. It's not a good idea to think about the past or think about the future. It's just important to stay present in that chaos and pay attention to what is going on within you, what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and take the action that you need to take based on your instincts and your intuition, because it's always going to guide you as to what to do. So this is actually my best advice on working with chaos and how to manage it, because you really aren't able to actually manage the chaos. The only thing you can do is manage yourself and how you are responding to the chaos. And you want to respond as best you can. You want to make decisions that are optimal, or as optimal as you can. So this is why staying in the present moment is so important there. So anyway, I hope that helps. Let's move on to the second question for today. Our second question comes from Fatima, who is in Brooklyn, New York. Fatima writes, I feel like there are never enough hours in the day. I'm always rushing, juggling work and family, and feel like I'm dropping the ball somewhere. Can you suggest one simple time management technique that actually works for perpetually busy people like me? Good question, Fatima. Thank you for asking it. There are a lot of wonderful time management techniques or programs that you can get out there. And I'm not going to talk about those because you probably know that they are there. And I'm not here to, of course, promote any particular scheduling system. Having a time management system that involves schedules is, of course, important. However, there's something else that you need to do to help you with the time management, and that is meditation. I find that meditation is extremely important, and that's because when you're meditating, you're staying in the present moment and you're making decisions in the moment. When you're in the present moment and you make a decision from that moment, the decision is probably a good decision. When you are dealing with being very busy and not knowing what to do next, or all these chores and things that you have to do, it's much better if you're in the present moment so that you're not nervous, so that you're not anxious. Because a lot of times the anxiousness and the nervousness and the fear, all of that will come up because you're rushing to do XYZ or whatever task it is you're doing. You're rushing. And it's better, you'll find that there are people who get a lot done and they don't look like they're moving very fast. Well, what they're doing is they've learned to harness meditation, and they've learned to harness being in the present moment and taking action from that particular moment. When you're in the present moment, you don't have time for anxiety to creep in. It just can't, because you're just paying attention to what is right in front of you. So I know that may not be the time management system that you're looking for. That is the time management system that I'm offering. As I said, you can get one of the apps that will help you with your scheduling and all that. That's all good. I'm a proponent of that. At the same time, you have to calm the mind and calm your being so that you can pivot and move when the way you need to move. I hope that answers your question. All right, we have come to the end of the session for today. Thank you so much for being here, for being a part of this community. If you would like to send questions to me to answer, send them to padmacoach@icloud.com. That's padmacoach@icloud.com. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because that does help these videos be spread out to other people. I would really appreciate it. If you would like to learn more about the services that I offer, please go to my website, padmalifecoaching.com. On there, you'll find information on astrology, past life regression, life coaching. All of that is there. You can even schedule an appointment with me through the website. If you would like to learn more about me and how I became a life coach and how I work through a lot of the chaos that I have had in my life, please get my book, And the Lotus Opened, a memoir. This book talks about my life, as I said, and the trauma that I have had to work through. And trauma can be worked through. You do not have to hold on to that. You can find the book on anywhere online books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, 8 Books. I believe Walmart and Target have it also. So anyway, check out the book. In addition to that, I have a virtual healing retreat coming up. And this is a fantastic retreat helping you to connect with you, your internal self, your higher mind, your intuition. There are 5 presentations and a panel discussion. The retreat is happening on April 29th and 30th of 2025. Tickets are sold through eventbrite.com. So if you want to learn more about that retreat or register, I'll put the link below. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. Bye-bye.